Hello everybody and welcome back to the Mongooli Show. Cosmic Crucible Season 11 is right around the corner and I'm going to be showing you the defenses I'm going to be using for week number 1. Now, before we go any further, I will mention that I am level Platinum 3 as well as being TCP of about 82 million, somewhere in that range. So these are the teams that I'm going to be using for that. Also, I do want to give a huge shout out to Dulom, who made a video about this, and I'll leave a link down below, as well as Jgiusti, who was helping me out with some images and whatnot for what I should be using for these. So I did take a little bit from those guys. There is some unique Mongooli in this as well, but make sure you go give those guys some love because they're both great content creators and they really know what they're doing. But they're also like in Masters, something like competing at the highest levels of this game. We're not at that level. You're maybe not at that level. This might be a little bit better for where you're at. Hopefully it's better for where I'm at. Let's get right into it. All right, so for room number 1, what you're going to be doing is, depending on what kind of an ISO level you've got, you're going to be putting vulnerables on the characters that you're attacking. However, when you've got vulnerable on the character that you are attacking with, you're going to be doing 100% extra damage per vulnerable. So vulnerables are going to matter a whole lot in this room. Now, for fortifiers and healers, you're going to be putting out 1 vulnerable. For strikers, you're going to be putting out 3 vulnerables. And for raiders and skirmishers, you're going to be putting out 2 vulnerables. I don't know why they put that in a weird order like that, but so be it. The maxes out at 20 vulnerables. And then when you're attacking with a character with vulnerable, you're getting 100% damage with that character doing the attack. And so you're gonna be doing a lot of damage, which is pretty cool. However, at the end of your turn, you're gonna clear all the vulnerables off of that character. So you wanna be doing a lot of damage and you wanna be doing it fairly quickly. For this room, we got some help from Jgiusti on this one. This is his idea. I like it a lot though. You've got most of the Alpha Flight team. You're keeping North Star on offense. You can deal with like a Mephisto or something where you can clear off a lot of the revives from a room, which is really nice. And we're putting Nightcrawler in there instead. Now, Nightcrawler gives some bonuses to X-Men allies, which of course counts for both Wolverine and Sunspot. So that's actually really nice. Wolverine's gonna be doing a bunch of damage. You got some strikers on this team putting out a lot of vulnerables. And the nice thing is, even though the characters with vulnerable are gonna be doing more damage when they're attacking, you are still doing more damage to them when you are attacking them. So I like the fact that we got quite a few strikers on this team. We got ways to put vulnerables on. We're gonna be doing a lot of damage. It's Sunfire, it's not Sunspot. My apologies. Thank you very much, Demalion, in chat. You've also got Sasquatch here being a pre-taunt who's going to just do really nice things as far as like just soaking up a bunch of damage, kind of keeping all of the focus on him as much as possible so that hopefully this room will do really well and make them actually think about what they're going to bring in against it. All right, for room number 2, I veered pretty heavily from both Dulom and Jgiusti and what they had going on. So if you want to check out their videos, you can see what they put in this room. But for villains, on successful attack, apply defense down to each target. And for heroes, on successful attack, apply offense down to each target. So if you want to have heroes and villains, this makes the most sense for me to have Super Skrull in this room, as he also gets benefits from having 2 heroes and 2 villains. So I went with the Hive Mind team here because that way I get 2 heroes, 2 villains. They all work really well together. Super Skrull is going to get his bonuses. He's also going to be a villain giving out defense down. I think this has potential to work really well. I'm a little bit nervous that 2 of the bigger brains in Cosmic Crucible both said no to this, but so be it. This is what we're trying out. I think it's got good potential here. I don't think, if I remember correctly, neither one of those guys in their videos had Super Skrull on defense whatsoever. So maybe that'll change over time, or maybe his time in the sun is fading. I don't know, but I think this room's got potential. This is what I'm gonna be trying out. We'll see how well it does. All right, room number 3 is the infamous raid room. We've seen this kind of room before in multiple seasons. Generally speaking, it's really tough for the first week or 2. It gets figured out, and then it just becomes commonplace. You just see the exact same attacks, same defense, same offense. You know exactly what to do. Realistically, it's probably going to become Night Stalkers, but I just don't have that team available to me. So instead of using 2 pieces of Night Stalkers, I went with 4 pieces of Orcus. Now, I do have a Mega Sentinel, but I feel like Black Knight's going to do a better job here of protecting the rest of the team, giving them the chance to survive long enough to do everything they need to do, and hopefully giving your enemy some serious pause. I did see some people talk about putting Mephisto in this room, and I don't feel like that's going to give you as much value because Mephisto is already going to demand a real answer. So you don't necessarily want to have a room that demands an answer with a character that demands an answer in the same place, as they might get the same answer. So if you can spread those out so that you're forcing your opponent to pick what raid team they're going to use as well as what they're going to use against Mephisto, I think that's going to work out better for us. We might have to walk back on that one, but that's the way I'm going with this for right now. Room number 4 says all characters with blind lower that character's speed by 5% and armor by 25%, as well as ultimate abilities apply blind to the primary target. This room feels like an absolute throwaway room, so I just put some good characters in here. I'm pretty much ignoring what the room does and hoping that this is going to work out really well regardless. We've got Dormammu with the Annihilators here. We're going to have Gladiator soaking up some defense right at the very beginning, and then Dormammu hopefully just keeping the team alive long enough for them to do exactly what they need to be doing. This is a gross team. I'm not entirely convinced this is the best room for them, but I wanted to put them somewhere, and every other room I had a better team for, so this is where we're going with them. We'll see if they last here for very long, but for day number 1, for week number 1, this is what we're going with. For room number 5, we're going to have an interesting room where the Unlimited X-Men count as Masters of Evil, and the Masters of Evil count as Unlimited X-Men. Now, when I first read that, I read Unlimited X-Men as Astonishing X-Men for some reason, and I was super confused why anybody would want that to have happen. But thankfully, I watched Dulom's video, again, link down below, and he pointed out that it's, you know, the right team, but also Rogue is going to spawn in with some serious bonuses that she's going to be able to give to Absorbing Man, making him really, really strong, as well as a pre-taunt. So you're going to have him going off first, you're going to have to attack him, and then by the time you're done attacking with him, you're going to have Rogue going off with her evades and her taunts and all of her nonsense. You're going to be focusing on her, leaving the rest of the team to kind of do what the rest of the team is going to do. This could be really, really good. This could be absolutely nothing because, quite frankly, everybody knows how to beat this team, or at least they did the last 2 seasons. So we're not sure if this is actually going to do a whole lot, but I think this is probably the best composition you can put in this room, unless you're just going to ignore the room rules here and just put in your biggest stuff. That's also not a bad option, to be perfectly honest. But we're going to try this out, see how it works. Hopefully it's just enough of a headache to, you know, give you some efficiency. I don't think this is going to beat anything, but if you can win some efficiency on the room, that's not bad either. All right, and room number 6, this is the Updog room. Reduce all healing by 100% and spawn with Safeguard, Immunity, and Defense up. Now, the problem with this room is it's just begging for you to use Ares on offense. That's going to be the best way to deal with this. But I'm also throwing a Mephisto in this room because Ares can't beat him by himself, so you'll probably have to bring in an Odin or something, or possibly double sack and then go against Mephisto. So regardless, I'm hoping this room is either going to pull some really, really big and mean stuff, or force you to come in at multiple times. Either one I'm going to be pretty okay with. We went with our Illuminati in this room, and we don't have Captain Britain yet, but we're getting awfully close. I've been coring for that character. We're at like 70 or 80 shards for him, so we've almost got him unlocked. I'm not entirely sure that at 3 stars he's going to be good enough to replace one of these characters, but if he is, we'll be replacing Black Bolt and putting Captain Britain on the end like that. We'll see. We'll have to figure out how good he is at 3 stars. I think he's one of those characters you're going to need more stats and more of a bump with. You're going to want to get him at 4 or 5, maybe even 6 stars before he becomes really, really good. But we'll see what happens. We know that they're going to be getting more Captain Britain in the near future, so hopefully we'll be able to build him up and add him to this team, make it even scarier. But right here, right now, we're going Mephisto in this room. You're already getting the reduced healing. Mephisto says as you get less overall health, like whenever he deals damage to you, your health gets turned in half or gets screwed up. So I think this is going to be a really, really nasty room for people. I really, really like it. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully this is going to be the stopping point. This is going to be the one that's going to make people really take pause and try and figure out what they're going to do there. All right, and that's what I'm doing for week 1 of Cosmic Crucible Season 11. We'll see how much it evolves over time, and I'm hoping to make a couple of videos throughout the week so that we can do this in real time. And if you want to come and watch me make those videos, help me out with my offense, help me out with what I should be doing, then that's over at twitch.tv/The Mongooli Show. Head over there, hit the follow button, you'll see when we go live. If you made it this far in the video and you got any help from it, consider hitting that like button, as it does help out the channel quite a bit. And if you want to catch more content like the edited version of those Cosmic Crucible fights, hit the subscribe button so you see when they come out in the near future. Until then, I hope you're safe, I hope you're well, good luck to you.